There is a kind of love that doesn't arrive with expectations. It doesn't ask who you're becoming. It doesn't need you to explain yourself. It doesn't flinch when you're tired, quiet, or undone. It just stays. This love doesn't care how productive you were today. It doesn't measure your worth by what you accomplished, how well you held it together, or how easy you were to be around. It meets you exactly where you are. On the days you feel strong, it's there. On the days you feel scattered or heavy, it's there. On the days you don't feel like the best version of yourself, it doesn't withdraw. It doesn't ask you to perform. It doesn't need you to impress it. It never asks you to be less of who you are to make it comfortable. This love is patient in a way that feels rare. It doesn't rush you through grief. It doesn't tell you to move on. It doesn't need you to explain why something still hurts. It just sits with you, quietly, faithfully. It learns your rhythms without trying to change them. It understands your moods without taking them personally. It notices when you're not okay, long before you ever say a word. There is a safety in that kind of presence. A safety that doesn't come from words or promises, but from consistency, from showing up every day without needing reassurance in return. This love doesn't keep score. It doesn't leave when you're inconvenient. It doesn't punish you for being human. It doesn't turn distance into doubt. It's there in the ordinary moments, the unremarkable ones, the ones no one else sees. It knows the sound of your footsteps, the way your energy shifts when you're overwhelmed, the quiet signals you don't even realize you're giving off. And somehow, it responds with patience instead of judgment. This love asks for very little, not because it doesn't deserve more, but because it isn't transactional. It doesn't love you for who you could be. It loves you for who you already are. It doesn't need you to heal faster. It doesn't need you to be lighter. It doesn't need you to be different. It never asks you to change. And maybe that's why it feels so profound. Because so much of love in the world comes with conditions, with expectations, with subtle negotiations about who you're allowed to be. This love has none of that. It is loyal without possession, devoted without demand, present without pressure. It celebrates your joy, but it doesn't disappear when the joy fades. It stays for the quiet, for the stillness, for the days that blur together. And the truth is, this kind of love has shaped me more than I realized. It taught me that love doesn't have to be earned, that care doesn't need to be negotiated, that presence can be steady without being loud, because the love I've been describing has 4 legs. It waits for me. It greets me like nothing else matters. It loves me on the best days and my hardest ones with the same unwavering devotion. And in doing so, it taught me what unconditional love actually feels like. Not dramatic, not consuming, just constant. And that kind of love changes you quietly, forever.